And now a state and a city remember former Providence Mayor Vincent Buddy Cianci with a funeral procession and cathedral service today.
As the snow began to fall this morning, mourners accompanied the horse-drawn casket of the former mayor from City Hall up to the Cathedral of Saints Peter and Paul for the funeral mass, and then up and over Federal Hill on the way to the cemetery in Cranston.
Certainly was a moving tribute. We brought it to you live on Eyewitness News throughout the morning. We have team coverage, including Sean Daly on Federal Hill and Tim White and Ted Nesi at City Hall. But first, Jared Pliner at the Cathedral and a look back at Cianci's funeral mass.
Danielle, good afternoon. North Providence Mayor Charlie Lombardi told us he thought today's weather was Buddy's way of going out with a bang, a man who meant different things to different people, getting one of the biggest send-offs Providence has ever seen. An elaborate funeral mass at Providence's Cathedral of Saints Peter and Paul, celebrated by Bishop Thomas Tobin and many priests for legendary ex-mayor Vincent Buddy Cianci, driving snow and winds outside, warmth and words of remembrance from the pews and pulpit. Cianci's casket covered in a customary white pall, marked by a sprawling crushed velvet cross. The governor, mayor, dignitaries, and private citizens listened to the words of former Providence Mayor Joseph Paolino, who quoted Teddy Roosevelt on the man who strives valiantly.
If he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place in history shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.
The Prince of Providence, a man who did good, committed sins, paid for them, lost his only daughter, never stopped going.
If there's just one inspiration to be drawn from Buddy Cianci, the mayor and the man, the grandpa, every time he suffered a tragedy, trials, tribulations, or tears, he got back up.
Paolino closed with a nod to Buddy's second mayoralty.
When Buddy came back in 1990, his campaign slogan was, "He never stopped caring about Providence." Buddy, we hope you're looking down today with pride, knowing that that Providence, will never stop caring about you.
And today's readings by Buddy's fiancée, Tara Haywood, and by one of his closest confidants and former city solicitor, Charles Mansolillo. Live outside the Cathedral of Saints Peter and Paul this noontime with the Providence Mobile Newsroom, I'm Jared Pliner, Eyewitness News.
This weekend, thousands of people filed through Providence City Hall paying their final respects to the former mayor. His casket sat outside the office he held for more than 21 years.
It was certainly an historic farewell for history-making and sometimes controversial politician. Target 12 investigator Tim White has been outside of City Hall all morning. He's live now from the Providence Mobile Newsroom.
From the very spot he was sworn into office the first time 41 years ago, Vincent Buddy Cianci left City Hall for the last time. His casket was marched down these steps, draped in an American flag. He was placed into a horse-drawn caisson. Cianci's casket was flanked by pallbearers, including his nephew, his former chief of staff, and former mayor Joseph Paolino. The steps were lined with members of the city council and honor guard from Providence Police and Fire Department. And walking behind the casket, Cianci's fiancée, Tara Marie Haywood. I'm joined now by WPRI.com reporter Ted Nesi. You've been here with me at City Hall all morning long. Ted, Cianci, he's been out of office for 13 years, but there is no question there's a political impact to his passing.
That's right, Tim. Obviously not as great an impact as if he'd won in 2014 and had passed away in office, but I think Buddy Cianci still had deep connections in City Hall. He still was a force in this building behind us. Just a recent example, his former campaign manager has only recently been appointed the City Council's chief of staff. He kept in close communication with a lot of members of the council. In addition, his daily radio show counted among its regular listeners many council members, many members of the State General Assembly, and Cianci had a way with his platform there to take something that might be controversial and really gin it up more, get it more attention. Right. So I think in a lot of different ways, his passing is going to be felt now and for quite a while to come.
The other impact today, of course, Ted, the weather. You have to think with Buddy's sense of humor, he'd get a laugh of all the reporters out here covering this today.
His final revenge on us.
That's right. And it likely had an impact on the number of people that were out here today, though we did see a number of people lining the streets as he was taken out of City Hall. And one thing that was really striking, all the employees looking out the window outside City Hall to watch the final goodbye. For Ted Nesi, I'm Tim White, live with the Providence Mobile Newsroom, Eyewitness News.